You know that feeling? You leave a get-together or you just hang up the phone and you realize you didn't really connect with anyone. You talked, sure, but did you actually say anything meaningful? Well, today, we're going to dive into why that feeling is just so incredibly common now.
It's a question so many of us are asking. It's this weird, nagging feeling that even though we've never been more connected, thanks to technology, we're really struggling to have the kind of conversations that actually feed the soul. So let's break down what's really going on here.
You could call this feeling the conversational void. It's that huge empty space between all the interacting we do and the genuine connection we're all desperately looking for. I mean, at our very core, we're human. We are absolutely wired for connection. We have this deep, fundamental need to be seen, to be heard, and to be understood on a level that goes way beyond just the surface. But then you look at our daily lives, and what do you see? It's just a constant flood of superficial chats, texts, and comments. It's like we're surrounded by all this noise, but none of it really feels like it means anything. So, what is creating this massive gap?
Well, it turns out this isn't happening by accident. There are some very real, very modern obstacles that are actively getting in the way of us connecting deeply.
Okay, the first one is the big one. Our attention is just shattered into a million pieces. You're trying to talk to someone, but their phone buzzes, or your phone buzzes. You're trying to listen, but your brain is already thinking about that work email, what's for dinner, or what you should post online later. Being truly present with someone has become a rare luxury.
And then there's this, the performance. We live in this age of personal brands and perfectly curated Instagram feeds. So there's this constant pressure to put on a show, to present this flawless, edited version of ourselves. We're not sharing who we really are, messes and all. We're playing a part, and you just can't have a real connection with an actor on a stage.
And of course, the pace of modern life is just relentless. We are always rushing. Our calendars are jammed, and our conversations are being optimized for speed and efficiency, not for depth. There's no time to just let a conversation wander and breathe and become something more.
So what's the result of all this? Well, our conversational world pretty much looks like this list right here. It's just an endless cycle of small talk about the weather, quick updates about our jobs, one-line text replies, and, the classic empty emoji that's supposed to stand in for a real feeling. It's communication, yeah, but it's definitely not connection.
But look, it doesn't have to be this bleak. Let's switch gears here. Instead of just focusing on the problem, what's the solution? What does it actually take to have one of those deep, meaningful conversations?
The first thing to get is that deep conversation doesn't just happen. It's not a happy accident. Think of it like a delicate plant. It needs very specific conditions to be able to grow.
And what's so fascinating is how beautifully simple these ingredients are. First, you need time. And not just a few minutes you've managed to squeeze in. We're talking about real, unstructured, we're not watching the clock time. Second, you need presence, the ability to be 100% there with the other person, with your mind and your attention fully engaged. And third, and this one is huge, you need safety. You need to create a space where both people feel safe enough to be vulnerable, to be honest, without being afraid of judgment.
Seriously, think about it for a second. When was the last time you had all three of those things at once in a conversation? Time, presence, and safety. It's an incredibly powerful combination, isn't it? And for most of us, it's almost unheard of.
And here's the kicker. All those modern obstacles we just talked about, the distraction, the performing, the rushing, they directly attack these three essential ingredients. They steal our time, they shatter our presence, and they make us feel way too insecure for any kind of real emotional safety.
This all leads us to a really critical new way of looking at this entire problem. We think the issue is one thing, but it might actually be something much deeper.
When we have one of those shallow conversations, it's so easy to think, wow, that person just doesn't care about me, or that people in general are just getting more selfish. But what if that's not the real story at all?
What if the actual issue is that most of us are just emotionally drained? We are so worn out by all the demands of modern life that we literally don't have the emotional battery power left for deep engagement. It's not a lack of wanting to connect, it's a lack of capacity to connect. So when you look at it this way, the whole picture changes. We think the problem is that deep conversations are rare. But the actual problem is that emotionally present people are rare. People who have the resources, the time, the focus, and the emotional energy to even show up for that kind of talk.
And that's the thought I really want to leave you with today. Deep conversations aren't rare. Emotionally present people are. Maybe the real challenge isn't about trying to find the perfect thing to talk about.
Maybe it's about learning how to cultivate that presence in ourselves first, and then creating a space where other people feel they can be present too. Just imagine what would change if we saw every single interaction not as a performance, but as a chance to offer someone a few moments of our genuine, undivided attention. That could change everything.